Hey guys, Ray with Ray's Tech Portal here, and I've got a new video for you. Today we're going to talk about the GTX 1080, 1070. Now I sent out a email to NVIDIA. Of course, I didn't expect much from it. Didn't get a card. Channel's not big enough for that. All I got was basically a non-disclosure announcement and a spec sheet. Same thing pretty much everybody else in the community of reviewers had at this point, except for some people like Jay's 2 cents in Linus Tech Tips, who actually got the card ahead of time and got flown all over the place. Thanks, NVIDIA. You left me hanging, yo. Anyways, they were kind enough to send me a spec sheet on it and basically said not to say anything about it. Well, I totally forgot about it. And the moratorium on the disclosure has come and gone, and now I'm making the video without all the hubbub out there. But for my fans, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the GTX 1080. Now, I'm not going to go into any benchmarking or anything like that. Obviously, I don't have the card. I wish I did, but you know, one day NVIDIA might send me some cards and stuff to check out. It'd be awesome. But, you know, I don't really need that. You know, you guys come to my channel for the nitty-gritty, straight up, is this card awesome? Is it worth it? Is it worth me spending the money on? Is it something you guys should have in your system? The short of it is, yes. This fucking card is off the charts, blowing everything out of the water. The Titan is coming close. I mean, pretty much all the benchmarks are coming up neck and neck on the Titan versus the 1080. Considering the Titan at this point is $1,000 card, that's insane. Even then, it's blowing the 980 clear out of the water. Even the 980 Ti, which I've got the 980 Ti, even dual 980 Ti's, it's coming up neck and neck. And to buy dual 980s, you're looking at $1,000 or more. And for a card that's going to come in at a price point of around $600 for the reference version, which, I'm sorry, NVIDIA is calling it the Founders Edition. No difference, it's still just the reference card, but you expect to pay $100, $150 premium for it. Should you get one immediately? I think they're coming up for sale on the 27th of this month. No. A couple reasons I say that. A, if you want to jump on the bag one and get one immediately, you're going to have the problem with game-ready drivers. Yes, NVIDIA's probably going to have some great stuff right out of the get-go, but I would give it a couple weeks, let the hype die down, let some sales show up on this thing, and see what it's all about. There may be some glitches you don't know about, some driver updates that you need for your games, things like that. So I wouldn't jump right on the bandwagon and get it. But I mean, if you got to have it, then by all means get it. The other reason is all the competitors, the board, sorry, excuse me, the partner companies are going to, Zotac, NVIDIA, Asus, all those are going to make their own versions of the card. It's usually are more powerful, and they're going to be cheaper than the Founders Edition of the card. So I recommend you wait and see what they're going to come out of the gate with before you buy the Founders Edition of the card. So it comes with 8 gigabytes of memory, the new Pascal architecture. One of the really cool features, it's definitely worth mentioning, and if you play on a triple screen setup like I do, if you ever notice, about halfway through your screens, your left and right screen, about halfway through, everything looks stretched out. Well, the 1080 and 1070 fix that. It no longer looks like that. It actually looks like full view of all 3 monitors. So true 5760 by 1080, not just the last half of your screen stretched on either side. A couple other things. There's going to be a floating camera option that allows you to take views of your game from other directions that you normally wouldn't be able to. This will be dependent on the game writers to actually write in this functionality, so it's not going to work right out of the gate. Also, another thing is like extreme screen capture. Some of the examples I've seen of this is being able to look at a book on a table and be able to zoom in on it so much that you could actually read the writing in the book that you normally wouldn't be able to. Or a cat in the bushes way off in the distance. You'll be able to zoom way in and get high resolution screen captures. You'll also be able to get 360-degree live views. So that's basically you take a picture of a moment in your game, you'll be able to put on your smartphone or your VR goggles, and you'll be able to have a 360-degree look of that scene. Totally awesome for a feature for this card. Again, a lot of this is going to be dependent on the game writers to put that in. But once they see how awesome it's going to be, I really think it's going to create a whole nother atmosphere to the gaming community. A couple other things to note on. It's much more power efficient. Instead of having 2 power connectors like the 980 did, this only has 1. It also, I think it was 170 watts. Don't quote me on that. I'm not going to edit these videos. At least not this one. I just don't have the time right now with work and life. So I think it was 170 watts down from like 200 and something from the 980. I could be wrong on that. I'm just going off of what I remember. But the nitty gritty of it is, if you've been looking to get a new card and you're got $500-600 to spend, is it worth it to get this card? Absolutely. Are you getting a good bang for your buck, considering the fact that it's beating the pants off of 980s, which up until now is one of the best budget cards you could get, and going neck to neck with a Titan? Yeah, it's a great deal. Everybody in the community, myself included, we're flabbergasted that they're going to come out with this new architecture at this very reasonable price. I mean, to spend $300 to $500 on a video card, that's what you'd spend to get a relatively decent card. And now for $500 to $600, you're getting the king. As far as Team Green goes, ATI has not released anything yet. There's some rumors out that they're going to come out with a showstopper, but for right now, Team Green has hit it out of the ballpark. And I would definitely pick up one of these cards. I'm going to, when money allows, I'll get one and do an actual review on it. A couple other things, they've changed the look. If you guys haven't seen it, Google a couple pictures of it. It's very sleek. It's got angled marks on it. I wish I could put a picture up there for you, but like I said, I'm not going to be able to edit these. I just don't have time right now. So I'm giving you guys the basics of it. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. It's an amazing card. The Pascal technology is way better than anybody imagined. I mean, 20-30% increased power and output from what the last year's model was, which is actually, you know, I think it's about 24 months since the 980 came out, or, you know, that particular algorithm and technology came out. So realistically, yeah, it is a huge step forward. They spent a lot of money on Pascal. I think NVIDIA was saying that the amount of money they put into developing it could have put some men on Mars. Several $1 billion were put into the Pascal research and development. Just that alone, considering they're going to make it reasonably priced, is just incredible. I mean, go NVIDIA. You're definitely making it to where all of us can get an amazing product. Now, NVIDIA, I'm sure they're going to come out with a Titan, and you're going to get a 1080 Ti and a 1070 Ti. You know, they're going to come out with the big hard hitters with Pascal. And I'm just like, if the 1080's doing this, and they're going to come out with the Pascal Titan, that card is going to be astronomical. Absolutely out of this world. I could not even imagine what the specs on the Titan with Pascal is going to be. But right now, that's just rumors that they're going to even come out with that. But I mean, it's NVIDIA. They're going to come out with the Mac Daddy version of it sooner or later. But yep, straight up, is the card worth it? Yes. Is the hype over it well-deserved? Yes. Is the card gorgeous? Yes, it is. Is it jaw-dropping? Absolutely. Should you get one? Definitely. If you got the money. Now, if you don't have that kind of money laying around, give it a couple weeks. People are going to start buying the 1080, and they're going to offload their 980s, their 980 Ti's, their Zotacs, everything that they've got. I think I'm going to hold on to mine because I'm going to build a computer for my son and my daughter, and I'm going to hand down my 750 Ti and my 980 to them. I don't know which one's going to be lucky enough to get the 980 out of that deal, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm going to get one, but other people are going to sell theirs to try and recoup some of the money. So that means you could pick up a 980, which, don't get me wrong, it's a great card. It is a great card. And especially considering, I would guess you could probably pick them up all day long for around $200 to $300 used, maybe even less, because the market is going to get flooded with them. You know, if you've been looking to get a pretty damn good bang-up card, I would look for a 980 Ti or even a 980 Ti Extreme Overclock Edition, and pick that up, put it in your system for a couple $100 used. You know, it's definitely worth it. But if you got the extra cash to spend and you can get a 1080, I definitely suggest that. I mean, for all the new features you're going to get, plus full DirectX 12 support, and I totally forgot to mention this, it's going to have a DDR5X, which is a much faster memory speed. It's still DDR5. This 1070 is going to have DDR5 only, not the 5X. The 1080 will have the 5X. It's ridiculous. The speeds are way up there. I think Jay's 2 cents was saying that he was getting he couldn't overclock it because they haven't unlocked that feature yet, but even with the CPU boost, he was getting 1800 megahertz. 1.8 gigahertz on this card. Not overclocked. It's getting to the point where the processor in the computer is going to be bottlenecked by the graphics card. Definitely, the graphics cards are going to blow the CPUs out of the water. It's just insane, the leap forward that NVIDIA has taken. Anyways, I think I've ran this video over way longer than I should have. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments down below, for those of you who are expecting specs and benchmarks and all that crazy stuff, my videos aren't all about that. Like I've always said, if you want to benchmark it, check out Jay, check out Linus. They'll give you all the head-to-head comparisons. They've got all the different cards laying around. I don't. I've got a 750 Ti, a 980, and hopefully soon a 1080. So eventually I'll have 3 cards to put it up against that are reasonable comparisons, but still nothing like what Jay and Linus have laying around. I mean, fucking Jay, for crying out loud, has got 4 Titans in his Skunk Works. I can't even come close to that. Oh, yes, I'm sorry, guys. There is one more thing I wanted to mention. They're not doing away with SLI. They recommend 2-way SLI. You can still do 3-way SLI, and I think 4-way SLI. Don't quote me on the 4-way. But I know you can do 3-way SLI. They're suggesting that you do 2-way SLI with the bridge and using your third card for the PhysX controller. So everybody's freaking out. Oh my God, they're not giving SLI. No, they're still supporting it. Out of the box, it'll do 2-way. You have to contact them and sign up for a key in order to unlock 3- and 4-way SLI. But you're going to get diminishing returns. The games are not going to be optimized for 3- and 4-way SLI. They're all going to be optimized for 2-way. So, do you need it? Absolutely not. 2-way in the future, yes. You know, it'll help you out. If you want to get a card now and then later on down the road, you get another card to get the extra power. Yes, but basically the 3-way and 4-way is going to be for enthusiasts. In fact, that's what they're calling it, an enthusiast license key in order to unlock that. And I'm going to tell you right now, from everything I've been seeing and the specs I've been seeing, games are going to run no better, if not worse, going on 3-way SLI versus 2-way, because the game writers are just not writing in the code to utilize a setup like that. It's just unnecessary, especially with DirectX 12 pretty much coming on all the games now in the future. There's just no point. Also, the bridge is new. If you've got a 980, a 780, any of those old soft bridges, they won't work. You got to get the new hard bridge. It's a faster bus rate in order to transfer the data. So they make 4 different sizes, I think, for the different spacing on the motherboard. So if yours are close together or far apart, they've got the right bridge for you. Guesstimating probably around $30 for the bridge. It isn't too bad. If you're going to drop $1,000, $1,200 on 2 cards, $30 for a bridge is nothing. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. If I think of anything else, I'll make a part 2 of this video. And I hope this cleared up any information on the 1080. And hopefully I'll get one to show it to you. Thanks, guys.